Okay, this video is replacing a front wheel bearing on an '09 Malibu. I've noticed, when you go down the highway, this thing, you'll get like sounds like a four-wheel drive. It's not really that bad, but you get that vibration. It drove me crazy. I thought it was tires and brakes, but that's not it. It's got to be a wheel bearing. And the way to find out is that you jack up the front of the car with both wheels off the ground. Make sure you put chocks in the back tires, keep it from rolling, both sides. Put jack stands under the front and start it up. Put it in gear and stop one of them from spinning and listen. And then go to the passenger side and stop that one and listen to this tire. And you'll be able to tell which side the wheel bearing is bad. Well, I've done that already, and it turned out to be this wheel bearing here. So I'm gonna replace this one.
Really good.
So the first thing you do is jack it up and remove the tire. Next is I got to remove the caliper and the rotor, and I got to take out this spindle nut also. That will be next. Okay, first of all, you have to take this nut off, and on this particular model, it's a 36 millimeter, which you can probably rent at your nearest auto parts store. I believe they would have it. And then there is 3 bolts back here holding this hub assembly on. There's one back here, one here, and one here. And they're about like that. This one on this particular model is 13 millimeter. And like I said, this one's 36. Plus you're going to take off your brake caliper, and I just got mine wire tied to the spring just to get it up out of the way so it won't damage the hose. And then once you do all that, you put this on your nut, and then just give it a gentle tap right here, and it should separate off of the hub, which this one did. I'm surprised it just about fell out in my hand. But take that off. Once you take this off and got it loose, there is this ABS sensor that you'll have to disconnect here. Those 3 bolts I was talking about, one is right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right here. Then there's this one here is number 2. This one here is number 3. You take those off, and then this assembly will slide right off, provided you hit this nut. When you're putting it back together, don't forget to put some blue Loctite on these 3 bolts and tighten them down. I tried looking for the torque specs on these. Looked online, I could not find them anywhere, so I called an auto parts store, and they told me that as long as they're really tight, it should be okay. Even he looked it up and couldn't find anything on it. So along with the knuckle and the brake caliper, they said they had a listing, but when he looked at them, it wasn't available. The only one that was available that I could find was the torque setting or spec on this axle nut here, which on this particular model is 160 foot-pounds. So in order for me to do this safely, I'm going to put these 3, tighten them up, put the brake and the rotor and everything on it, plus the tire, set it on the ground, and then I'm going to tighten this nut up. Now we're taking it for a test drive. She told me around 40, 45. It was making a god-awful noise. That's the kind of sound I like to hear. Everything works great.